Welcome, guys, to Occultists Anonymous, where we are sponsored by Roll20, the Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you to our patrons who support us monetarily and let us do really great stuff and do not rename themselves to Michael. Chat, I'm onto you. YouTube guys, it's okay. You're fine. You're my babies. Twitch chat, however, is on my list right now. They know what they did. Don't worry about it.
It would make it really easy to just read all the names.
Michael, another dude. I will get the Gregorian chants out where they chant the names of the saints, and it's just Michael, another Michael, another Michael. Don't make me do it. Our real patrons, well,
two of which are Michael.
Yeah, two of which are Michael. Thank you guys to Thomas, Sinna, Schmitty, Ryan, Roivasgrad, Puppeteer, Perry, Other Michael, Noba, Moku, Michael, Melissa, Cat Feathers, Josh, James, Giovanni, Emil, Doc, Danny, Brandon, Bernie, Badur. Sorry, bud, you got to let me know what your name is. Alexander and Elaine. I messaged them and I got no replies, so I'm doing the best I can. Thank you guys so much for supporting us monetarily. We are like almost to the 200 goal that we have for getting my wife to help video edit. If that happens, the goal is she will help me edit the YouTube videos from this, and then I will get to making more videos like the legacy video I posted. And maybe I'll
and
get
lots of other ideas that we have.
Yeah. And completely unrelated to everything and doesn't matter at all. I think I'm going to try and force Chris to stream Wolfenstein with me. So we can go kill some Nazis. So, because we make that comment a lot, and I feel like we haven't delivered enough Nazi killing to this channel. There's
definitely been a dearth of Nazi killing. Yeah. Well, he delivered the Nazis, but we chose not to actually kill them.
Oh yeah, we tried to be peaceful.
Give me some Tomatoes Nazis. I'll punch all of them.
Well, hey, that's up for you guys to go to Tomatoes. Anyways, so speaking of, Tomatoes and us doing some stuff.
Mage things.
Yes. So they just got finished with a conference call. Red was like, okay, well, thanks, I guess. This is kind of useful. Click, hung up the phone. He's looks at Songbird and says, so those clothes. And grabs Songbird and bebops out, I guess. Unless Songbird had something else to do.
Nope, not here.
He's that anxious for them. I'll just do a quick co-location.
I mean, to make him do it. Don't waste your mana.
Yeah. And also, you have something else to do. That's the whole point. I'm giving Songbird an exit.
Yes, okay.
The only things left to do here is read books. And
it's just not a Songbird thing. I don't know. Some of them have pictures. Anyways.
Monster manuals, they're real cool. Find new things
make a
to
fucking
punch.
pop-up book for me.
I mean, there's probably some that do that.
I guarantee there's probably some. There was some Acanthus who was like, I know how I'm going to record these. Childish, terrifying monster books. Tell me the Grimm brothers were not Acanthus. Anyways. So I know Wyrd is going to go do some research. Was Atratus going to help?
Yeah,
okay.
I was helping because I'm better at libraries.
It's true. Cool. Let us go ahead and just do a simple academics. And Wyrd, since you're assisting, we'll give a +2 bonus to Atratus. I imagine some of that is using fate magic to do so.
Yeah, my plan to research is basically just shifting the odds to find an interesting book.
Right. Yeah. Her role is basically her utilizing all the librarian student skills she has to. I'm going to skim.
Someone who knows how to use a research library,
right? And I'm going to skim this book to find this stuff that we actually care about.
Yeah, I can give her superlative luck. That.
You can do that too if you want.
Yeah.
So academics and wits or intelligence. They're the
intelligence.
Same. Okay.
Yeah, they're the same.
They're both 3. Yeah.
Before you roll, though, let me hit you with superlative luck. Let's make sure I got all my. I don't need that. Yeah.
What does that do? It's like a 8
you get roll. Yeah, you get rote for a number of.
Reroll all your failures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all I really need. Instant cast. Extended duration. That's fine. I got a bunch anyway. So.
Titan says the Brothers Grimm were changelings, and you know it.
Ooh, yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe one of them was an Acanthus, the other was a chain. Fate brought them together.
Mysterium's not going to freak out if I cast spells in here. Right?
I mean, depends on who you're casting on.
Depends on the spell.
Yep.
I think that works out.
Cool.
So 7 dice.
Yep.
2
Cool.
successes.
2 successes.
Right, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7 die rolls. You
With the rope quality
on.
Okay.
Yikes.
So
I think that'll be enough.
We'll probably have it covered.
it's probably enough. I don't think I need modifiers.
Like I said, you just have the +2 from Wyrd, literally wandering around and just finding books and bringing them. Yeah, cool.
5 successes.
So yeah,
Good. Oh no, I did get some initial. I was like, I think I can reroll failures.
oh wow, yeah, you had a couple failures right at the start. So yes, first hour of research is pretty useful. You do basically cross through a bunch of like nasty liches. There are things called Morphians that you guys kind of skim over, and it's like, I'm going to be a mage who wants to live forever, so I'm going to turn my Oneros inside out as a bubble to travel around. It's messed up.
It's bad.
It's super bad. And they are unable to change because, well, they're liches and they live in their Oneros, and it's all sorts of weird and messed up, and yeah. Not great, but you're like looking at everything. You're like, okay, definitely not a Morphian. Move that book to the side.
Good. So that's horrible, but that's
not
what
it.
you're dealing with.
Looking through the list of other Goetia, this thing seems to fall into a category of Goetia that are not necessarily tied to particular subjects. Where you would find Goetia that are tied to, like I mentioned, Discord, to fighting, or to war, to politics, and they represent parts of that. There are these oddball things that don't fit those normal classifications that seem to be moving of their own accord.
Obtrusive thoughts.
Yeah, actually, is a pretty good term for them. There's no single origin that they come from. There's some theories of like, well, yeah, if somebody mind mage creates a consciousness and sends it off to do some stuff, and it's left to its own devices, if it gets into the astral, into somebody's Oneros or into Temenos, it may develop and have a personality. Other existing Goetia, some of the weird monstrous things like the warped. Thank you. Like the warped things that Wyrd saw in Linwood Hall.
The weird
melting.
Mm-hmm.
The wax melty guys, yeah.
If some of those were somehow nudged into, a little more consciousness, because those are like instinctual beasts. If those things are given a little more initiative and a little more, a little more initiative, and a little more power, they could develop into some of these intrusive astral presences. And then, of course, there's the terrifying thing of, well, the astral is, linked up to a lot of things, including like if you go beyond the Temenos into the Anima Mundi, which is the dreams and thoughts of planets and stones, and there's some really odd stuff that's out there.
So are these things like naturally occurring? They just sort of happen sometimes? Or are they always the result of someone making them, kind of?
What you get is, without further research to categorize, it could be something naturally, because technically the nasty things from, that are the dreams of Luna herself, the moon, that the werewolf...
The moon god.
Yeah. Right. And if she happens to have a dream and a thought, that thing has a representation in the Anima Mundi, which is the thoughts and dreams of natural things in existence. And if it manages to worm its way down into the Temenos or out into an Oneirus, those things are you just can't understand them. They're not necessarily things from like the lower depths or the abyss, but they're going to be their own thing. Think very far realms from Forgotten Realms.
Planescape.
Planescape, yeah. So yeah, this thing seems to be, and like I said, this is your like first hour of research and you're kind of cross-referencing some stuff. That's what you get, kind of first kind of look.
I just had a horrible thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if I actually let this thing out? Like that it wasn't able to move on its own and I just
set it free. I mean, it's not inherently bad. It's just sort of a unanchored Goetia.
I don't know, it didn't, unless it's a Goetia that identifies with, like it was feeding on my emotions, literally. Like some sort of emotional vampire or something.
I mean, did you feel it draining you or were you just powering it?
I think I was just powering it. I was very overwhelmed at the time, so I wasn't really aware of what was happening.
I mean, that's kind of like empathy. Just something highly empathetic that is drawing from you. Again, not inherently bad.
Yeah. All right.
Might I also point out, this is a super duper Eben Phoenix thing right now that Atratus is doing. It just kind of clicked and I was like, oh yeah. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it didn't feel hostile, but it was definitely feeding off the emotions.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything from what we're looking at or what you've described that would make me think it's bad necessarily.
Yeah.
We can keep looking to see if we can maybe find something describing what it looks like, if we have any of those in here.
Yeah, you can spend another hour of research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll again. You still have the rook quality and all that.
3 successes.
Cool. And especially, I think this is rather appropriate now that you've kind of exhausted the easy sources. Now you're, focusing stuff in. You get a little more information of, okay, yeah, this is definitely one of these kind of, intrusive thoughts. I love that term, by the way. Totally stealing it. And, especially with, the information that Wyrd kind of, it's, feeding off of emotion. There are several different creatures. Most of them are listed like individually. And they are, these, named things that people have come across. And while it doesn't necessarily match any specific one, like as you're looking through, there are these things that, seem like alien entities that utilize human emotion, or actually probably any emotion, but humans tend to have the broadest range. And, because yes, you can upset a puppy, but it's probably going to forget about that in a second. But you upset a human and man, they're going to think about that one thing that they did in junior high as they're laying in bed, and all of a sudden it comes back, I was such an idiot in front of my classmate, and it just comes out of nowhere. No, humans will ruminate on stuff for forever. We're good for emotion. So there's definitely these different entities that seem to feed off of emotion and kind of exist. And specifically, it seems that because similar to spirits and ghosts, they have essence that they need to regenerate, and spirits can find that from resonance. Ghosts get it from their anchors. Goetia got nothing that naturally occurs. Usually that's something that mages will generate for them, or they find some way to feed off of something else. So it's quite possible that that is the kind of thing you've seen. And I'm gonna stick with that term, intrusive thoughts. And they tend to, when they show up, they tend to manipulate people into doing things. Sometimes it's terrible things for the person, and other times it's, hey, why don't you, go confess your love to that girl that you just met. And that rejection is so good. Right. Right. Is it really terrible? No, but kind of sucks.
Yeah, it seems like it needs to eat. And it's trying to draw that from you, sort of as payment.
Yeah. I'm worried that when I go back there, it's going to be 300 feet tall because it's just been feeding at all the emotions that are in Lower Manhattan. Like, humans are emotional creatures.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's not malevolent.
A 300-foot tall beastie doesn't necessarily have to be a malevolent step on a skyscraper or crush a bus or knock off a train.
People squish ants all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys do any more research, or do you go, I think we're tapped?
I mean, do you want to keep looking?
I wouldn't mind a little more, just to make sure. The idea that these are individually named entities, and that, again, I'm trying to think back.
It just sort of implies that these are, ones like this are fairly rare, but not super uncommon.
I don't.
Did you ask it for its name?
I don't even remember if I asked it for its name.
You did not. I mentioned it in passing, but it did not mention its name to you, and you did not ask it.
I was very overwhelmed at the time and not thinking clearly.
Okay. Well.
I should ask his name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
6 successes.
Cool. With that, you dig some more, and especially with 6 successes, you come across a name and description that matches, and his name is Scopetus. Scopetus. And in Kanka, I will make him no longer private. There's not a lot of description to him because you don't know much, but yeah.
We know its name now.
Yeah, know its name, and in the book, it definitely describes it as another one of these intrusive thoughts. The comments are, it is a absolutely fabulous guide to...
You broke up. Can you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah, it is a fabulous guide for finding things in the Anima Mundi, and it has a interest in the Temenos. What its interest ends, what its goal is, they were not able to understand, but it wants things from the Temenos. And it is found in our world, in Twilight, or in the Anima Mundi. And there's one little note in the margins that says, "Do not invite it into your own Eros."
Good to know. Okay, well, it could be a good friend to have.
Awesome. Scopetus.
Yeah. We're not going to invite it into your soul or whatever. But having a guide available.
I could never even imagine a set of circumstances where that would even be something I would consider. But yeah, but important note, I'll make sure I put a sticky note on my
forehead.
on my circle. Thank you, Atratus.
Yeah. So
give Atratus a hug. This is very comforting, I guess. It's not like going around devouring civilizations or anything, so that's really good. I haven't unleashed a terror on the world. Feeling much better now. Yes, definitely much better.
Cool. And it seems like it could be nice to have it friendly with you in case you need a guide.
Yeah. And the Anima Mundi, just to remind you and everybody at home, the Anima Mundi is hostile to human existence. The ecstatic wind rips apart, and specifically, the higher your gnosis, the more damage it does. And
More frequent as well.
Yeah. This definitely seems the kind of thing that higher gnosis, more advanced mages like. Yeah, I'm gonna use this guy. So when I do need to go check out the, dreams of Europa, the moon of Jupiter, I can get there quickly, and I'm not spending time futzing around in the ecstatic wind. So yes.
Okay.
So
do you know what it wants? Have you figured out?
It wants me to go in the Temenos and remove 3 things that symbolize me, that I have a connection with, like an emotional attachment to. I guess to feed. I'm not sure. Or maybe I can draw recurring energy from that, like as a way of sustaining itself.
Maybe it just thinks they're interesting. Hoarding connections and knowledge.
It's a little bit different because it's in the book, right? That this thing is always looking for things from
it's looking for things from the Temenos. So.
Which seems to me that it might be a way of sustaining itself. I have no idea where I ended up or what this place was like. It was like all of reality had collapsed into a point. And there was no movement, no up, no down, no. I couldn't do anything, and it was in there with me, and all I could do was leave after I paid a toll. It was quite an experience, and then he popped out right after me.
After growling at you.
Yeah. I was trying to make space for myself, and he got really cranky because we were literally like almost merging into one another, and things were like bleeding away. Memories and things like that where I had to hang on to them. But thank you very much. I feel a lot better.
Yeah, just now you need to figure out what.
And like I said, it was probably all going to work out anyway, so this is going to be good.
Freaking
yeah, see, it's fine.
Cool. So with that research done and 3 hours spent.
Yeah, Songbird.
Yeah, Songbird, I imagine, went home, got the clothes, pass them off to Hiza. Anything else that you were doing in those couple hours?
Getting a scolding from Red.
Only if it goes.
Who knows?
Going crafting.
What's up?
Make our friend Titus his magic eyes.
I could. Don't have to do it immediately. So we got to come up with the ideas. I want to get in touch with Hadramiel.
Sure. Sorry, brain fart. Okay, yes, I remember who Hadramiel is now. And
we're going to be talking to him soon anyways.
Yep.
With the council and everything, so.
Yep. At this point, you have his phone number, so. Yep. He picks up. Or were you thinking more face-to-face?
Probably face-to-face.
Okay. Yeah. He meets you at, some open public, kind of place.
So, when we talked last week with the other counselors and everything, you mentioned that, or you all mentioned that there is an upcoming assassination.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yes.
I was wondering if you had any more details or plans on that.
That is something that the Hierarch and Red are kind of keeping close to their chest. I know they're getting the Guardians involved. And I know it's supposed to be messy.
I see.
It's supposed to be messy and very one-sided.
I see.
I imagine there will not be any sympathetic casting, and it probably won't just be, we're just going to blow his, head off. It's going to be visceral.
Sure. Anyways, I just was curious if there had been any developments on that. Perhaps I should just talk to Red about it, but
I mean, potentially any kind of shifts. He's like, yeah, I mean, talking to Red might be the right thing. Why are you asking, though?
It sounds strange to say I'm hoping to be involved in the, destruction of a being, but I find myself searching for more ways to be involved at the Concilium level. And violence is what I do.
Yeah. You arrows like conflict, but you have very hands-on nature.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thought. It's a slightly upsetting thought.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I currently don't have a... I'm going to look up the term here.
Provost?
I believe that's the one.
Second in command?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do not currently have a provost. I find them a little distasteful because I think that any counselor or hierarch should be able to handle their own business themselves.
Sure.
But I can see their usefulness. And while I have looked within the Silver Ladder for a potential provost, I don't know that any of them would counter my decisions. Or, not counter, that's not the term I'm looking for.
Balance?
Balance, gainsay.
Don't know that word.
I need a Riker to my Picard. That's right. You're not American.
I'm just not a nerd.
Yeah. I need somebody that, if I give an order, will perform that order. But if they find themselves questioning that order, are not going to be afraid to stand up to me. Within the Silver Ladder, there's not really any who would. Maybe Sun and Winter. But having...
In general, the other Obrimos are much more similar to you than me.
Correct. Which is
pretty much across the board.
Which is the other disheartening thought. Because I'd always thought, if I were to have a provost, that it would probably also be an Obrimos. And probably from the Silver Ladder. And...
Wait, hold on. This is Chris talking.
Mm-hmm.
Does he mean a sentinel? A provost is a deputy counselor.
Right. Wait. No, yeah, he definitely means provost.
Okay. Like his provost would always be an Obrimos, as far as I know Concilium politics to be.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. So
that was more of a Drew misspeak.
Yeah.
He thought it would always be a Silver Ladder.
Correct.
Perhaps.
And Obrimos and a Silver Ladder. And I also straight up spaced on the fact that you were also an Obrimos. But
all that life magic.
Yeah, all that life magic.
Hey, I've got Forces 3 now.
And matter, and and so now I am thinking, especially if you're wanting to serve the Concilium more, and I'll be honest, you don't have a chance in hell to get involved in Concilium politics within the Arrow under Red Dread.
No. He's a little hands-on.
He is very hands-on and has things kind of... Well, he has Moonkeeper under his thumb.
Right.
Not a thing I'm happy with, but so be it.
Something... Little bits and pieces of discussion here and there. And obviously between you and me. Don't know that I 100% agree, and certainly don't look up to Red Dread in every single way, shape, and form, like many of the other arrows do.
And I think that is appropriate for the other orders. I don't know how appropriate that is for the arrows. Not trying to recruit you. I'm just saying within the arrows, they have a very controlled hierarchy. But I know that politics aside, if he were to give you an order that was of a military, I believe that you would follow through if you felt it was appropriate. Which is the other reason I bring this up, is for everything I have seen from you, the only overtly heavy-handed violence has been leveled against seers or monstrosities.
Non-humans.
Yeah. And ones who are unfriendly to humans. I understand.
If I may, I did not become successful in my previous career by throwing challenges at every single fighter out there.
Right.
You got to pick your battles.
Correct.
And it is also, there's a bit of a consciousness to it, or a conscience to it. We are gifted with powers beyond the ordinary, using them on people that do not deserve it, I find distasteful.
It's an act of hubris, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I don't think that Red Dread would necessarily see the same thing. It's one adamantine arrow to silver ladder thing that I don't think we do agree on, but you do, which, well, it gives me hope for you. So, well, I'm going to table the discussion for now.
Sure.
I think you see what I'm getting at. I'm not exactly being subtle, which you seem to pull out of me, which is a little bit refreshing compared to silver ladder politics, which is the other reason I'm even considering you. Well, actually, as far as tests and trials go, I think I might put my foot down and request order Red Dread to send you, along with the rest of whoever is selected, to confront the Vampire Prince. It is my opinion, that has been shot down multiple times, that the prince, distasteful as their kind are, be at least given a chance to come to heel. I find the idea of undeath disheartening and
kind of
disgusting.
grossed out by it.
But there are some of them who are more palatable, and some of them who have a nobility to them, similar to your werewolf friends.
Much like us, not all of them have chosen this.
Correct. There are many who, whim of fate. Because of that, I think that we should give the prince a chance to bend the knee, to submit to our authority. I imagine I know what the answer will be, because anybody in a position of power, especially of that level, is going to give us the finger, and we will be forced into action at that point. But I wonder if the prince may be more used to us alive than dead. Or, well, you understand what I mean.
Yes.
And
on a lot. No. Not going to get there.
Not destroyed.
Sure.
That way, I mean, they spend some time with us. They have their city engulfed in civil war. And then they're allowed to return safely. And if we have a Mastigos involved, and some time with the prince, we may nudge their thoughts in a more palatable direction. I am currently sitting on the fence of whether completely twisting a monster to be our monster is more or less despicable than destroying a monster.
Sure. Comes down to, and perhaps this will be knowledge I can get once I'm assigned, but the landscape of the vampires' second, third, fourth in command, what the power struggle will be if he's destroyed, who ends up in charge, and what they want to do.
Right. Which brings me to the third point. Your cabal mate, Atratus, who, as every report has ever crossed my desk, makes friends with everybody and everything that moves.
Including a minotaur.
And a couple that didn't move.
Yeah. And minotaur. You'll have to tell me about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine she has made contact with vampires somewhere in this city. I don't want to know anything because I don't want anybody to ask me questions.
Sure.
Speak with your cabal and do some of that research. Know ahead of time because Red Dread has done research into who might take
tactics
over.
And targets. Right.
But I don't know that he has looked at them
may not be from a
as people.
Politics standpoint. Yeah.
Correct. And this never ever gets back to Sun and Winter. That effectively this is not quite treason, but going against his wishes. See what you can learn.
All right. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, eh?
Right. See what you can find out. See who the other... I can't remember the term. Drew can't remember the term. I think it's primogens, but I'm not 100%. The other leaders of the paths. The different clans within the area and the covenants to see who might take over. And if it matches up with what Red Dread is saying, and this is going to be a healthy coup, then, for us, then so be it. But if we're about to put a rabid monster who is not going to have a strong, firm reign on the vampires in the city, then perhaps we need another plan and another tactic. I do not want this to turn around and become a civil war or, some kind of coup within our own concilium. But, let's be honest. Downtown Manhattan is yours, and the rest of us mostly live in the boroughs. And
sure. We're the ones that are going to have to deal with whatever fallout happens because of this.
Correct, which is the reason
up to and including a bunch of pissed off vampires coming to try to kill us.
Correct. And so because of that, I didn't suggest anything. I didn't give you any kind of order.
Sure. We were just talking about supernal beings today.
Correct. Thank you. And you are just doing your good duty as the door guard of your concilium. Or, excuse me, of your cabal.
Banner.
Well, I was thinking of these.
No, you're rolling the cabal.
Yeah, but he's pretty particular about the role that he wants.
But also that thing too. Yes. Also, yeah.
Got my pen.
Yep. The banner as well.
So, well, you've given me a good heads up. I'm going to give you a heads up and allow you some more time to think about an issue that will come before the council. We've just returned from Mexico.
Okay.
Slide phone across table.
Flip. Eyes go wide. Flip. What am I looking at?
That's El Dorado.
He kind of slides the phone back after just flipping through a couple more and goes, "Do you find anything interesting?"
Oh, yep. And perhaps I was a bit naive in showing these off to Hiza, but he and Red have got it in their heads to claim this for our concilium, use it as a reward structure, and to basically have a controlled flow of people to go in and be rewarded with claiming items from this treasure hoard.
Who, of course, are going to be only people who fall under the regime.
Right. So,
interesting.
Our cabal will be bringing this before council soon. You have some time to think about how you feel about it.
Okay. Do you know when you'll be presenting this to Sun and Winter? Do you guys have an appointment set or?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I've got a day or two. All right. Interesting. Well, I thank you for the heads up. And I thank you for the wonderful discussion about supernal beings and the various angels that serve the Aether. Kind of like stands up,
absolutely,
sends your hand, shakes, have a good day. And you can see like his face, he's like, oh, I have the biggest headache.
Yeah.
As he makes his way out. And man, where did the time go? Cool.
Songbird did some crafty scheming. How about that, y'all?
Some politicking.
Yes. Which, if I remember correctly...
Definitely not going to get in trouble for this.
Yeah. Which, just for those of you at home, yeah, we're not really interested in the politics. Yeah, we're not going to get involved in that. We just want to be Indiana Jones.
To be fair, of the four of us, I was the least...
Right.
I was the least to agree with that.
Yes.
But...
I do enjoy the Indiana Jones stuff, too.
Sure. You get to punch minotaurs.
Exactly.
Cool. So we shift from Songbird finishing talking with Hadramiel, you guys finishing your research and not locating, but learning about Scopetus. Anything else?
I'm
good.
Oh, Wyrd, can I borrow your phone for a second?
It's like I asked that question around here.
No, I'm trying to get a number.
I hand it over.
I'm going to copy down Tessos' number.
Whose number?
The
vampire.
Oh, okay.
I've wanted to call him and give him a heads up on the hunters, just sort of as a measure of goodwill.
Sure.
Especially since I know that we're about to try to start a war.
Careful about that.
I'm not going to mention that.
And
I just want him to like
don't
us
even
more.
Obliquely throw it in there or anything. Like, make sure you stay well away from that particular path.
Yeah, no. I just want to. I want our local vampires to like us, so that when we do start.
Oh, I'm totally on
the
board
Vampire
with that.
Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
We might be okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
The Nosferatu and the Ordo Dracul, I want to be cool with, at least.
So, golly gee, I never would have known that she would have teamed up with them.
Okay,
there's no Malkavians.
No Mals.
Cool. Do you call him now, or is this like a later thing? Probably not while you're in the Mysterium.
No, like when I get home. But yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to say that everybody kind of meets up at the
or at our sanctum?
Well, the house. What is that building?
The Puck
building.
The Puck building?
Puck building, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. someplace.
Yeah, because it's probably pretty reasonably late, right?
Yeah, because between the fact that you got up, went, did some stuff, conference call, 3 hours of research. Yeah, it's pushing 5 maybe. So it's not crazy late, but
is it nighttime?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll like if I call a vampire, will he answer?
Okay. So Songbird goes to the workshop first and casts a spell on himself.
Oh, okay. What do we cast?
I am going to cast a combined knit and honing the form.
Oh, okay.
Because Songbird has a very dumb idea.
Okay.
Do you have any third kinds?
Yes. Okay, so I need... I guess I can do it separately. That's fine. Okay, so that's just the one reach, which I can do.
Why would you do them separately?
Because I forgot I don't have a domain for life magic.
Spend the mana instead of the reach, I guess.
It's fine. I'll punch it up.
Yeah.
Atratus can keep talking, but I have to do this first.
Sure.
Okay.
So
I am setting this aspiration to make contact with Tassos and try to get a feel for general vampire, I guess, politics. In addition to just the warning.
Sure. But yeah, if you ring him while he picks up and go. Yeah, it's a very hello.
Hi, it's Atratus. I made you a bird.
You did make me a bird. Yes, I'm looking at it right now. Hello.
Hi. I wanted to give you guys a bit of a heads up. We had a run-in with some hunters just across the river. Some fairly nasty types. They are apparently a faction that is more reactionary. So I don't know that they're going to come looking for you. But they're around. They were very excited about wanting to kill vampires. So, wanted to give you a bit of a heads up. They have like a whole radio station, and I'll give them the name of their podcast or whatever, if you want to keep an eye on them.
Interesting. Now, I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, but you understand that this seems a little bit forward of you?
I mean, they were harassing and trying to kill some of our other friends.
Now this makes a little bit more sense. So now we're not talking of a friendly warning to the local ugly vampires. This is somebody is picking on my friends.
Oh, no, we dealt with them in that part. Were there threats involved?
There had been threats, yes.
Yeah, we worked out a truce on that end. But I did want to give you all a heads up, because during that discussion, they expressed being very into going vampire hunting. And
so...
I like you well enough. I would rather... Yeah.
So aggressive hunters hunting your friends, and you push them off onto vampires, but then let us know about it ahead of time.
We didn't push them off onto vampires. I think they brought up the vampires.
That was their idea.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, Tassos is, he goes, okay, all right.
Yeah, they brought up the vampires.
Well,
if they come looking, I'm telling you they're coming looking. So,
okay,
heads up.
I can appreciate that. And no, don't vampires and werewolves were top of the list of, monsters to kill. I'm not personally offended. But I don't think me and my kind are really the ones that they're going to be after. We're not flashy and sitting around in high society, and
you all tend to lay low.
And my kind specifically are very good at just disappearing. So, but your fair warning is appreciated and noted, as is, I guess, since you're calling, we have noticed an occult shift in Lower Manhattan. A redirection of energies, I feel like all of a sudden I'm living inside somebody's backyard.
That would be the territory marking.
Very likely.
Atratus, you get a text like while you're on the phone with him.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Hey, I need to talk to your vampire friend."
Okay. I've gotten a message from my cabal mate who wasn't there when we met you.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they want to talk to you. That's all it says.
Is this an invitation to come over?
I feel like we would all probably feel safer doing this relatively publicly.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you want to meet? And I'll find like a nice outdoor cafe or.
Sure. No, that sounds absolutely lovely. I'm going to get a bite to eat.
I know a great sandwich place called Witchcraft.
Preferably, hello Wyrd, a place that, I won't look odd sitting and not eating anything.
Yeah. Or you could just go to like a courtyard or something, like a park.
Parks are good.
That's good.
Yeah. Just text me back on this number and just let me know what park you want to meet at, and I will see you there.
Okay.
Fabulous. Click.
Take Songbird back.
So here's the spell and the terrible idea explained by Chris.
Sure, because I'm looking at 5 reach and 1 free
minus
reach.
in potency.
It's boosting my stamina and putting knit on myself at an advanced duration.
Okay.
I'm willing to trade letting this vampire experiment on me for information about the vampire courts.
Okay.
This is such a bad idea. You never get to tell me that I'm having a bad idea ever again.
To be fair,
I'm very into this though.
To be fair, Songbird is bringing it up beforehand.
Okay, yeah, sure.
No, Chris is bringing it up. Songbird Songbird going to tell Atratus like on the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and because Wyrd, you're casting a spell here. What is this spell?
Mine was pretty straightforward. I just wanted to scry my coin.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
2 successes.
You see the inside of a pocket.
Ooh.
It says in the spell that I get like a cinematic wide shot of the area.
No, if you do an area, you can see this. But yeah, when you're picking a subject that is an object, you have that close up view where you can kind of make out the background. But yeah, there's enough movement and stuff like that. That coin is definitely in somebody's pocket.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. That's all I wanted.
Cool. And Songbird, go ahead and roll.
All right. I am spending 6 mana.
I really want this to succeed.
To drop it down to 2 dice of Paradox.
Oh.
Actually, wait. Hold on. Because I've got my tool involved in there. So that actually...
So it was over by 4, which is 8. So we're dropping it down to 6.
Sorry. I'll only spend 4 mana.
Okay.
For that.
So 6, so down to 2.
So 2.
Okay.
I'm fine with 2 dice Paradox.
No problems.
We're Gucci. All right. Looks like 7 dice here.
6 minus 10 is -4. 8 becomes 4 plus 3 is 7.
All right.
Exceptional
You want that mana back?
success.
Yes, I want that mana back.
Sure. Have it.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Cool.
6 successes.
All right.
Whew, we tapped out, baby.
Yep. So you have 5 potency.
That is +6 stamina.
Okay, so quick question here, because Honing the Form and Knit are 2 different primary factors.
Sure.
I'm just going to let you decide what you are going to actually make this combined spell to be a potency.
Duration.
Duration. Okay. So it just has a potency of 5. But then it's going to...
1 base +5.
Oh, yeah. 1 base. Yeah, sorry. 6. Yeah.
So
plus,
6.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking +5, but yeah, you're right. 6 potency, and so then the duration is, because you have advanced duration, we have a scene, day, month?
Week.
Is it week?
Week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just so you know, this is still going to hurt, right?
I'm aware.
Okay, good.
Chris is aware. Songbird is aware. The rest of you guys, not aware. So cool.
He's been through worse, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.
So, you guys beat up. There's a couple
So,
texts
like,
back
yeah,
and forth.
on the way. Does Wyrd come with us, or is it just me and Atratus?
To meeting with the
Coming to
vampire.
meet the vampire.
I think I would want to be there to look after you
Okay.
guys.
I didn't know if
Sure.
you were still with Atratus, or if we texted
Yeah,
no.
you, or whatever. So.
I was there when you sent the text.
Okay.
So cool. Yeah, you guys arrive at
So
the
yeah.
park.
I can't go into details, but I find myself needing to know a lot more about what's going on in Vampire World.
Okay. Well,
So
I mean,
So
here's a
Almost
vampire.
see the question mark over Wyrd's
Yeah.
head, but okay.
He's, as far as I can tell, roughly in charge around here of the Nosferatu. He said at
picks
least that his name would get us probably safe if we ever end up entangled with them. So,
Yeah, and I mean, you guys have, dramatically appropriate amount of time to chit chat
Right.
if there's anything else you guys.
and I kind of like relay my plan.
That is a terrible idea.
it'll
Yeah.
probably work though. They're
Yeah.
very interested.
Everything you said, everything you've said to me, like, because I assume we've talked more about it after I got over my initial shock of you did what about the vampire,
Yeah, they're very into magic types or supernatural
yeah.
types. So,
and I'm the one that's changed their backyard, as he apparently said earlier today.
I'm
Yeah.
far be it from me to pry. Well, we would be in a better position to help you if we knew what this was about.
everything you just said cut out.
Be,
would
be in a
be-
better position.
To help you if we knew what this was about. Don't have to tell us at all. I'm not trying to get you to tell us.
I may be getting put on the hit squad.
So this is intelligence gathering for targets and things?
In a way.
Okay.
More the fallout of what will happen after, since we're the front
I've
lines.
been worried about that too.
Yeah, I've been
It's-
trying to make friends.
It's easy
Because-
for the counselors, and I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the fucking hierarch's name. Sun and Winter.
Sun and Winter.
Mhm.
Right. I keep wanting to switch them and Moonkeeper.
Mhm.
It's easy for Sun and Winter to make a judgment call when they all live out in the burrows.
And shaking
Yeah.
things up like just part of a bloodbath. All the
Yeah.
rules and agreements and stuff would go out the window immediately.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to having vampires kicking in my window at night to kill me.
hmm Anyways,
so
so
as,
that's my thought.
so yeah, as you guys kind of share and nod and stuff like that, Tassos arrives free of the hobo look, and yeah, he has the messed up shadows and some of that other oddities of Nosferatu. His face kind of covered up a little bit, but yeah, kind of looks at Wyrd and Atratus, kind of nods. Ladies, Songbird lady. Yeah, okay. Yeah, ladies, and looks and kind of pulls a chair out and kind of sits down and waves to waiter to just.
And
Oh wait, no, it's a park. Excuse me. Right.
Park, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick divination on his attentions as he walks in.
Mhm.
And divination on whether he's here to talk or.
Oh yeah, he's
Okay.
like he is
Yeah,
seriously
intrigued as fuck.
curious.
Just
Oh
checking.
yeah.
Yep.
And kind of looks from Wyrd to Atratus and then looks at Songbird and says, so you wanted to meet.
Yes.
Yep.
This is Songbird.
Hello.
Tassos shakes your hand. Well, if offered.
Yeah, for sure.
And then says, so we weren't here before, and I believe you two said that she was going to hate that I'd met with you.
We got her, slightly fussed at, but
It's all fine.
we
We
got
talked about
over it. Yeah.
But we're over it now. Kind
There
of
was
looks at
some-
Songbird.
Yeah.
There was some hugging and stuff.
There was a lot of yelling about what a stupid idea it was to walk into a vampire's den, which,
I can't help myself. I chuckle at that.
fair, but
Okay, but water under the bridge then.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
we're fine.
Okay.
Atratus said you might have some questions or curiosity about what's going on in your backyard.
Oh yeah. Especially amongst the kind. They've noticed changes. City feels a little different, especially at night. We provided sanctuary before, but now, specifically over on the east side, they feel more secure. And based on Wyrd and Atratus's conversation, you guys have set up shop.
Yes.
And
Mages lay out territories, I guess.
We are, for the most part, saying that this is where we reside. We mages have old rights that are abided by both by us and our less scrupulous counterparts. I don't know how much you know of Mage Society, but
not much, unfortunately, but anything you're willing to tell me, I'd love
Sure.
to hear.
we know
Different
that
factions.
there are the ones we work for, and then the Seers, the fascist, bootlicking, controlling the populace.
You're big fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we have done is laid a claim that this is where we are. This is the rules we follow. This is how to get in touch with us.
And of the rules we follow, one of them is sanctuary, which means that a mage can come to us, no matter who they are,
Any mage.
any mage, Seer or Concilium or Nameless, and if they need help or in danger, we will help them. So that's probably the security
The energies you're feeling.
people are feeling. Because
That's
that is
impressive.
written out and laid out in the wards we've put up. Or the runes.
There's also the right of safe passage.
Mhm.
And I outlined the safe route through our territory. It's an area that we patrol. And we'll take action to defend if necessary.
Anyways, this is all probably very interesting, but not ultimately not why I came here.
Mm-hmm.
In laying this territory, we realized that there are others besides mages that exist in this world and that have their own territories, rights, responsibilities. And I wanted to perhaps get some of that information from you of sort of the lay of the land among the kind, as you said.
And I would be so willing to do so. Why?
Because Atratus noted your curiosity about what we are. And I'm
going
currently
to satisfy my curiosity.
I have prepared myself to be able to endure a lot.
Interesting. And kind of looks to, Wyrd and Atratus.
She told us we were stupid.
Okay, so you got that too. And this
so,
is.
yeah, we told
I'm
what
supposed
happened.
to just
we
believe
told
this
him what
is-
happened. He basically said, "Hold my beer."
I mean,
And this isn't some. I'm just supposed to believe that this is some, not a trap to.
if this happens, we'll be coming into your domain,
It's true.
and it's a
With all of your laboratory tools and whatnot.
it's a deal. It's a trade of information, I guess. That's what.
I imagine
do here?
you're not willing to die.
No.
Okay.
But magic
Well-
can go a really long way to make you stay alive.
But currently, my body will stitch itself back together every hour.
You wanted to dissect a mage.
Uh-huh.
I
You
don't
don't-
think we're any different in the guts wise, but
No, I mean, dissecting, I was being a bit,
The blood, though.
dramatic. The blood, though. Let me have your swear on it. Do you have some oaths that you keep? Do you have some,
I mean,
Weird.
ritual?
we can, yeah, we can do
yeah.
legitimately magical binding oaths if you would like.
So if there's three of you swear that this is not a trap, bind yourselves to that, then I don't know what. I swear that I give this one back alive in what?
Sunrise.
I have you all night.
Mhm.
It's a bit rushed. But I imagine once this offer leaves the table, it's off the table. Yeah, that seems rather appropriate.
I don't know that the nerves will be steeled this much again.
We've done the stupid thing. This is do or die, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's make sure this is worth your time. What information are you looking for?
Songbird? What you looking for?
As much info as you're willing to share about the political landscape of the city.
Sure, I think that's fair. And I can give you what I know, and I guess I can get on the horn and ask some other questions. We'll trade questions and answers while you heal up. Sure. All right. So, yeah, I swear you'll have him back. Have her back, whole and alive at sunrise.
And
Can
what
we
happens if
Come
you
along? I would feel better if
hang on? What happens if you fail to do
I was
that?
going to say, let Wyrd do this, because this is the weird thing.
This is important. What happens if you fail to do that?
Stake me
Death
out
for a
in
death.
day. Yeah, absolutely. If I take this one's life, and I, including passing on my beloved curse, then yeah, stake me out, decapitate me. I have no intent to, let this one die. Not since you guys are being so, amiable.
And what do we promise?
that this isn't a trap. That was our part.
Yeah.
That we are not going to harm him.
And what happens to us if it is?
Harm for harm.
Songbird
That's okay.
dies.
Anything that we do to you will be visited on us.
Cool. You will have to bump up the. Oh wait, actually, you probably already got skill.
Yep.
Okay, so wait, hang on. What spell are you casting?
Sworn oaths.
Okay, so you don't have that much free reach.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
That's fine.
It's one.
That was the thing that was throwing me off. I was like,
Yeah.
hang on. That's okay. So for reach, you actually only have 2 free reach because you only have 2. You only have 4 fate.
Yep.
Gnosis Arcana. That's fine. Okay, so your actual reach you were spending on duration, instant, scale.
And,
Anything else?
What was it?
The little bonus reach.
Yes.
So you know. Okay.
So I know if it's
Cool.
been violated.
Okay, cool. All right. So in that case, duration bumps it up to being plenty long
Mhm.
because it was already with advanced duration. It was already a year or a month.
Oh, right. It's a duration spell.
You
So
only need it a day.
So cool. Yeah. And so that roll, 7 successes is fine. Cool. And so, like he agrees. And then all of a sudden there's this little tingle and he goes, okay.
Bound.
all of us.
And like there's a definite like shift from like, oh yeah, this is so dumb, but sure, whatever, to slight nervousness. I need to make sure this one stays alive, kind of thing, and looks at Songbird and looks at Atratus and Wyrd and says, well, time is ticking. Say your goodbyes.
Can we?
We're coming
come?
with them.
Mm-mm. I don't want you there.
Okay.
And notably, because Chris is not going to be out, is
Okay.
going to be out
Mhm.
next week. Thank you, Chris, for coming up with that brilliant idea.
You're welcome.
And
Right,
so,
fair enough.
and yeah, Tasso's kind of, and very gentleman courtly, and like offers his arm, and walks into the darkness of New York City and to his lair.
It's also that like Chris has things about medical slicing and dicing, so
Yeah.
most of this
You'd
will
rather
be
do this
off
off camera.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Craig had similar stuff when we played Starfinder, had mentioned was not into as getting gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I want the politics answers.
oh yeah, don't worry. Songbird's going to come back with like a
I'm gonna
little
have
bit
a
of
fucking
1,000 yards.
dossier.
And yeah, like let me tell you, because I'm going to tell you about the other stuff that happened. But
Is
also,
vampire gonna drink mage blood and get high?
yep, 100%. Yeah, this will be interesting. Very curious. I'm gonna have to go dig up that Order Dracul book and see if this guy manages to come up with any new coils or scales, whatever the term is. As
Just in point of
Yes.
order, you owe me, or I owe you paradox roll.
well, just to make things quick and easy, do you want to go ahead and say that you threw a bunch of mana at it and got that mana back?
Works for me, so it's a chance die, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Good point of order.
This is so fucking
Covered.
stupid. I love it.
Yeah. Don't
Songbird
forget
in a
that
single day
it does
has
give you a
done-
willpower back as well.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, right.
Yes, because I know you were low.
I am low.
Yes,
Songbird in
any
a single
spells
day
today.
has done so many dumb things.
I cast 0 spells.
No spells.
Oh yeah, that's true. You researched your
We cast research.
Yeah, and was damn successful at it. Was it 6, 5, and 4, or 6, 5, and 3, something like that? So, Wyrd takes this very seriously. Yeah. There's a reason I was like, do you guys do any kind of oaths? I was like, am I going to put the big neon sign large enough? Please. Yeah. Because I was as soon as I was like, man, how are they going to keep? That's right. We have a way to keep him safe. So cool.
And if something does go wrong, like I'll know immediately. And
Yep.
co-locate to Songbird. I can either pull him out or pull us in.
Mhm.
We're covered.
Cool. So thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week for a Wyrd and Atratus episode, because Songbird is going to be away. I was going to grumble and complain, but I was the one away last week, so I really shouldn't. But I tried to suggest that they get together and just play by themselves without any rules, but then I realized that was a terrible idea.
Terrible idea. You have an entirely different game when
Yep.
you got back.
Why are we pirates?
We've all ascended and we've made our own earths. And yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, if you want to come talk about what a terrible idea Songbird has come up with, and actually a pretty safe one at the end of the day, yeah, you can come join us on Discord. That's yeetinto.space to get there directly. Come hang out with us. And if you want to support us monetarily, that's staylucky.club. You can come join our Patreon and not name yourself Michael.
Unless your name is Michael. You're allowed to be Michael if you are Michael.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, good Lord. Twitch chat, I'm on to you. I know who started it. There will be some kind of... There's not going to be any punishment. Who are we kidding? So thank you guys for joining us. This is why I like doing this stuff with you guys, because we're here. We can talk about it after. We can make fun, and we can hear about your guys' stories too. But yeah, if you guys have mage stories or anything, or even your D&D campaign, we have a channel for it. Come tell us about it. It's very fun to listen and watch. And some of the campaigns some of the chronicles that are going on out there are way wilder than ours. Mm-hmm. And lasted, I think they said 4 to 5 hours. And I'm like, I'm done with these guys at 3.
I'm done.
So thank you guys as always. And we will see you next week.
Okay. Stay lucky.